Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. Wife had passed away, but how can I forget my wife affair? Myso, an extrovert, and I, an introvert, started dating in our mid-20s. We both had our fill of one-night stands and cheating partners. 3 years later we were married. We were best friends that had a lot of fun and couldn't keep our hands off each other. DNA left in 4 countries and half the states. On Myso's 34th birthday, I gave her a ring box with a note asking if she would quit her birth control so we could have a baby together. She jumped into my arms and kissed me until I lost my balance and fell to the floor. The happiest I'd ever seen her. She took me into the bedroom, past the bed, into the bathroom where we flushed her remaining pills. Over the next 5 years, we lost 3 pregnancies. This hurt us both deeply. We talked and decided to adopt. The process is long, but in our early 40s we watched our daughter, M, be born. The sparkle was back in her eye. The next 8 years were wonderful. Myso was the kindest, most empathetic mother I'd ever seen. All of our friends told me how lucky I was. At 50, Myso asked me to get a vasectomy to lessen the chance of another unwanted pregnancy. I had a bad case of the flu the week of my snip, and I had to cancel. Myso got the same flu from me the next week. She wouldn't let me take her to the hospital, but I finally took her to the emergency room where she had a stroke that lapsed into a coma. 6 horrible days later she passed away. Both M and myself were devastated. It took almost a year before she would sleep in her own bed. She said she was afraid I'd leave too. Soon I received 2 credit card statements in her name. We always had common finances. The balance for both cards was just shy of $14,000, mostly in cash advances. I sent for all of the back statements. This got me thinking about the last year. Sex life went from normal, down to once every week or 2, to me giving and not getting head but no penetration. She also had a few new foreplay tricks she'd never used before. We also went from talking over everything at dinner to barely talking by the end of the year. Then to the point she would avoid talking to me at all. All we had was a landline with 2 phones. She would get mysterious late calls and the caller ID register was always cleared, completely not normal. She went from a girls' night every week or 2 to girls' night twice a week by the end of the year. Her dress for girls' night also went from jeans and a sweater to being dolled up by the end of the year. She would even get her hair done sometimes. Then I got total confirmation of her affair in the mail again. I was blissfully ignorant and enjoyed the one-on-one time with M, playtime, bath time, chasing her until she would go to bed, then story time and kiss her on the forehead goodnight. After a couple years of grieving and obsessing, my company offered me a job far away and I jumped at it. I pretty much just swept everything under the rug and we left. Fast forward 10 years and I start having these very vivid dreams that I remembered for days. Myso would be dressed beautifully, dancing and kissing her AP. They would go to their room, strip in front of me and throw their clothes on me like I was a cuck, then screw in front of me and laugh at my misery. I finally went to an IC who told me that I never got closure on Myso's affair. I, 64, just retired, and M, 22, wants to move back to our hometown. I'm hesitant because I still don't know who the AP is and I don't want to be nice to the sob that screwed my wife. I would be surprised if AP was outside our circle of friends. I also don't want M looking up to someone who screwed her mother. Should I ask So's best friend who AP is? She would know. Should I dig all this back up? I'm obsessing again. I thought all of this was behind me. Please let me know. Comments from community. I'm trying to move in that area of the country, within a couple of 100 miles away from the hometown. When I moved out of the house my wife and I shared for 20 years, it would take me hours to fill a box with me crying over each thing of hers I found. So I know all about moving emotions. In my dreams, not knowing the face of the man is what drives me crazy, among other details. I think opening a closet that stuff should be left closed. Some people call it pain digging. Focus on M and all she and you need. Chasing and thinking about the unknown steals time and opportunity. If you find out, there'll be more questions than answers. This is the beginning of you chasing tour tail. Best friend doesn't want to answer endless questions. Trust me, you'll always have one more question. Let this consume you and it will. I couldn't agree more. I had planned on never opening the closet, The closet opened on its own a few months ago. I only want one question answered: who? After my so passed, I withdrew from our circle of friends, 24 plus people, because the odds were favorable that AP was in this group. It didn't bother me then because M needed me more than ever at that time. Besides, more people in the circle than BFF had to know what was going on and never told me. People that say you should just move on and not figure out who are wrong emo. If this thing has literally been haunting for the past 10 years, fuck it. Find out. Your so was in most of your life. I believe that you deserve at least to find out who to get a closure. After finding out, be pissed, be angry, be sad, be whatever you need to do. After, it would be time to move on. This is my opinion. I feel so sorry cuz you had such a great time with her and memories with her sounded amazing. It makes me so sad just reading this story. It will get better, but first, you need some closure. I found out that my husband had an affair 3 days after he passed away. He died last August and I am 3 weeks away from leaving the home we purchased to renovate. He did a wonderful job with the renovation and I helped him where I could. I sold his motorcycle a few months ago and his car about 6 weeks ago. Every item I find breaks my heart. As I look around the house now with various items dismantled and a lot of stuff gone, I remember some very good times and I really need to remember these times. The affair and what I found about it did a lot of damage to my memories. While I am in therapy, I don't know where I'll end up mentally when this is years behind me. I am hugging you virtually and I hope you can find a place you can settle emotionally that will allow you to live a life and enjoy. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.